I'm excited to see this Duke team play in person, and Indiana State better have Larry Bird walking through those doors.
Exactly. Just saw the record there with Coach Shire. 49-3 here at home under his leadership as head coach. They went undefeated last year at 17-0. They won their only home game earlier this year. And it's right into Boozer to get things started.
I love it. A quick cross screen using Ngongba as the passer. Out to 15, quick cross. Good job at sealing and staying close to the basket.
Starting five of the Sycamores. Scott leads the team with 14.3 points a game. They go inside and they get the bucket for Scott.
I'll give this. Ian Scott, number 23 for Indiana State. Got to watch out for him. This is an NAIA transfer who can really score the basketball. Terrific player.
Sarr working his way in, got it knocked around, and Scott comes up with it for Indiana State. Derek Vorst now. Blocks by Boozer, got it back. Sterling Young on the drive. Rebound Ngongba. Relocating Foster for three. That's not good. And Vorst on the rebound. There's a foul on the floor here.
Should be on Ian Scott. Good call. He's turning around and face blocking out Cam Boozer. He knows the physical strength of the bigger Boozer. You're going to have to do a good job keeping him off the glass. And that's a point of emphasis this game for John Shire and his coaching staff. He said rebounding is going to be the key to this game.
Offensive foul on Ngongba on the moving screen for Duke. And they turn it back over. Our officials tonight, Clarence Armstrong with Jamel Spearman and Jeff Pond. What about as a team coming in here for the first time, right? This is the first ever matchup between these two. What is it like if you're at Indiana State right now?
I think one thing that you're lucky if you're Coach Schlesinger that you have veteran guys and older guards that can kind of manage some of these things. It can be a lot when you first have it. But Sterling Young, last year's SWAC Player of the Year, he's ready to play.
Here's Isaiah Evans trying to feed it to Boozer, and it got intercepted. And the Sycamores with Xavier Hall bring it over. 3 early turnovers right now for Duke.
Indiana State scoring over 80 points a game through their first 3 contests. This is a team offensively that's pretty good. They have deep range, especially Camp Wagner.
Deep three there, no good by Wagner.
Some 5-out motion using Ngongba at the top. He's a terrific passer in these sort of situations. He's so strong physically.
Evans pulls up, no good. Rebound Young. Another long three from Wagner, and he drains this one.
Wagner, you better find him quick, fast, and in a hurry. 26 out of his 30 field goal attempts on the season from 3. I'm not calling him a one-trick pony, but he knows what he's looking for.
Boozer up top to Ngongba.
Nice play, Boozer. You see the versatility both as a scorer. Nice lob pass and a little 4-5 action.
And that goes off of Duke.
If you're going to surprise somebody and you're Indiana State, you got to knock down shots. Camp Wagner, this is what he does. That is beyond NBA range, excuse me. And then short roll action. You got to be able to make a decision. Quick toss up. You know where your guy's at. Ngongba. That's 2.
So much for nerves coming in here, right? If you're Indiana State. They do it again. Wagner again. He hits another long 3.
2 for $1. Big time shot. Same spot.
And right back the other way as Caden Boozer misses on the 3. Wagner feeds it to Harding. Back inside. Young with a wide open 3. He drains it. And the Sycamores are up 14-4.
My goodness. Sycamores ready to play. Ball movement at an all-time high. They come in with a reputation of as a terrific offensive team, but they better guard him.
Boozer for 3, and he comes back for the Blue Devils.
No home run trots either. Indiana State looking to push up tempo and play quickly. And like you said, Mike, not a team that's going to be intimidated by the moment. A lot of older players and guys that have had success at the college level.
Yeah, no doubt. They're 4 of 5 from three-point range, and Harding misses on that one. 4 of 6 now, and it's out of physical player. I mean, he comes in at 6'8", 215, and already an immediate impact here for this group.
Absolutely. McDonald's All-American, the whole bit. This guy can really play. From California, makes the trip cross-country. Shoots a pretty ball, though, I can tell you that.
I was looking at those notes earlier for Duke, always having a McDonald's All-American on this team every single year. At least one for the past 41 seasons.
It's a lot of burger boys.
19-17, Duke on top by 2. Here's Hall for Indiana State. Allison got it knocked away. Out of bounds off Duke.
I was about to give Indiana State a compliment looking at how spaced out their offense was. And then the one time where everything tightens up, that's when they decide to drive to the hole. So you got to be smart about your opportunities.
Ian Scott, who's got 2 fouls, by the way, for Indiana State. And it's stolen away by Malik Brown. Up to Boozer, Caden Boozer. Evans for 3. Wow.
Terrific screen. My man sets his feet. You can forget about it. Isaiah Evans, very much a feel guy, can get hot in a hurry. He hits his first shot.
And it had a hand right in his face.
Duke on the defensive end really picking it up. Malik Brown, this is what he does on the defensive end of the floor. Then the ball moves around. Isaiah Evans, that's what he does. Corner pocket, that's 3 for number 3. He raved about Cam Boozer, and I said, you know, there's a lot of comparisons to you. I think he might be more athletic than you, Kev. He said, well, there's no doubt about that. But the ability to get a rebound and make an outlet pass, and I was like, absolutely. He said, absolutely. But he goes, I think he'll have a better career than I will. Now, that's Kevin Love saying that, and he's the sweetest human being on the planet. But what a compliment by 2 guys that play the 4/5 position so well. I found it just unique that Kevin Love, so in tune with it, was able to give him the award, and he's a guy that Cam Boozer is often compared to. I think they're very similar in how they approach the game. Both were inside-out guys. The game has changed some, sure, but at the same time, the ability to get a defensive rebound and push it out and make an outlet pass. We've already seen an example of that. That's where he thrives, and that's where Kevin Love has made a long NBA career.
That's a great story, Terrence. Just saw Carlos Boozer there in the crowd as well. And, yeah, I think Kevin Love, too, an inspirational player in all aspects on and off the court. Here's a 3 ball.
Deep.
Yeah, Camp Wagner, it doesn't matter where he is, he's going to put it up. He's hit 2 of them here tonight. He's 2 of 5 from three-point range.
They've been about that range, too. Duke has done a nice job forcing him to fire it away from way beyond the line. The length of the Duke defense is really impressive this year.
Caden Boozer was called for the foul. There's 3 team fouls on Duke, 6 right now for Indiana State. Walker and Scott each have 2. Shot clock inside 10. And out of bounds on the sideline. Boy, they really cut off that baseline pretty well, right, if you're Duke, and not letting any penetration underneath the basket.
100%. They're just loading up on help side. You see the pack line. Ngongba doing a terrific job getting over. That's just a big man. He's running into a wall.
Yeah,
sorry, Mike. A little switch in defense, a little extended 1-1-3 that turns back into a 2-3. You got to find your opportunities, and if you're open, you better shoot it.
Boozer brothers right there. The tip goes up and in. Caden.
Indiana State started off so well. Duke now on a 20-3 run.
Picking the ball up and going in and getting blocked is St. Bernard. Quickly the other way. Hemenya for 3. Way off, and Vorst has it.
How about the cross-court pass by Cam Boozer?
Another three, Wagner, no good. Offensive rebound. Sycamores have it. It's over to Young. Another long three. Young this time. Back rim.
They hit him early. You can't settle for him on every possession.
Evans. What a drive for Duke.
Come on, man. Linked for days. Isaiah Evans, not just a three-point shooter. Excellent in transition with the step through.
He's got 5 points, and Duke leads it 24-17.
Couple of shots, but it's been this pressure that has changed the course of the game for Duke. Look at Dame Sarr. He is pestering the basketball.
Gets the steal and the finish.
You want to get the crazies going? That's how you do it. Terrific defensive possession.
6 turnovers for Indiana State here in this game. Down by 8. On the drive, Hall knocked out.
Dame Sarr, he's got a wingspan of a pterodactyl. Look at this. I mean, the ability to reach around, gets it. The Italian played for Barcelona last season up until August of this year. Great block.
And Sarr on the block.
Dame Sarr, up until this year, was the youngest player to ever get minutes. And we're going to take another look. Offensive goaltending. What a block. Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, they called offensive interference.
Interesting call. Dame
I think he was
Sarr,
pulling
though.
the net, by the way.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't see him pull the net. Thank you for that. Dame Sarr was the youngest player to ever suit up for Barcelona's top team in the ACB prior to August of this year. Only at 16 years old when he got his first game action. Defensively, he's special.
Oh, nice play initially, but then it was Ngongba that scored it after St. Bernard got a piece of it to begin. 4 points for him. And it's a 10-point Duke lead now, 34-24. 6 minutes to play first half. Xavier Hall for Forst, and needed a little bit more on that pass. Intercepted. Caden Boozer for his brother. 3-ball. Cam Boozer, and it's 37-24.
I love the extra pass to the corner. Caleb Foster wasn't feeling it right there. Right back to the big fella. The versatility of Cam Boozer is such a good player.
Terrence is already going to have his average here in the first half. He's got 14 points so far.
And he just has a habit of making everything simple. Right? I think there's a grand misnomer with young players thinking, I have to make the spectacular play.
Foster for 3.
Keep the game simple. Go under, Foster, knock it through. You don't have to make something spectacular. This Duke team, really, really tough. Up 16 against Indiana State, trying to hang around. Out of keeping the game simple. That's why he's so valuable. Was he have 16 points here in the first half? I can't remember any of them being difficult. It's because he does all the work before he gets to the shot. Just a terrific talent all the way around.
How about the 10th 10-0 run that Duke has been on in a game this season? 3 of them are here tonight. After trailing 14-4, it's a 36-10 run. Young on the floater. No. Rebound Foster. Boozer. How about that?
When Foster first threw it, I got nervous. You throw that ball on an arc, it could be dangerous with help side coming over.
And a steal. Cameron Boozer. And his defense has got to do this defensively. I'm like, they're scoring 140 points in the NBA. Like, who's playing defense right now?
My favorite thing was whenever people used to talk, they're like, well, I don't think he can stay in front of the NBA's guards. My response is always, nobody can stay in front of the NBA's guards.
Exactly. Second half is underway here in Cameron Indoor Stadium. The Sycamores with it. Underneath, they try to get it divorced, and it's intercepted.
Terrific help side defense. Cam Boozer sliding in.
That's 13 turnovers now for the Sycamores, and making them pay off of The Caleb Foster miss is Ngongba with a follow. He's got 6.
Ngongba lost 20 pounds in June and July. Duke hired a new strength coach, Coach Preston Green. Brings him in. He's like, man, you've struggled with some injury stuff, sure, but let's see if we can drop you down a little bit of weight. Ngongba's never looked better as far as physically, how he's able to move around the floor, being able to switch out on some players that last year he would have had no business doing. He looks really good this year compared to last.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sarr knocking down that jumper for Duke as they lead at 56-32. Make it 34. Basket and a foul as Sterling Young will head to the line here.
This is nice job, Cam Boozer trying to stay, or excuse me, by Sterling Young getting downhill. I was thinking that was the possession prior, but Sterling Young's a guy who can score it. Today, got off to a little bit of a quick start at the very beginning of this contest, and then Duke turned up the intensity defensively, but played at FAMU last season for the Rattlers. By the way, underrated jersey combination. Florida A&M.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Yep.
But he SWAC Player of the Year last season.
And that's off of Forrest as Boozer was creating havoc there once again. And he picked up a foul in the previous possession. He's only got 1 foul here tonight. 23 points. You talked about, yeah.
He is human.
Oh, right.
That's the first mistake I've seen him make pretty much all day.
Right.
I mean, he's been spectacular in every facet.
Forrest, no, but foul. And it's going to be on Sarr. That's going to be his second. Back to your point about Indiana State getting off to the fast start. They were 4 of 5 from 3-point range. Since then, they're 2 of 12.
Yeah, it's just been a different kind of intensity. And I'm not saying Duke was asleep at the wheel, but sometimes when you're playing an older veteran team and they have guys that can shoot it, you're playing half-court defense. They can get comfortable because they've seen that so much. Duke switching to a full-court man-to-man just changed the rhythm of everything. And are they showing a hoagie on the baseline there? That's a Harris Teeter hoagie.
Yeah.
I love the creativity of the Duke student section.
It's awesome.
It's always been that
every
way.
game coming in with something different, right? Here's Boozer. Just too easy.
I'm just bigger than you. That's all that was. And Ian Scott's a big guy. Like, we talked to Ian Scott before the game. Like, this is a guy who's going to go into pre-med. Like, really intelligent. He's about 6'8", 210 pounds. It's just the sheer size and width of Cam Boozer. Just incredible, really.
Well, it ties his career high, if I could say that, throughout the first 3 games of the season. He's had 25. He's got 25 tonight. Here's a 3-ball that's no good by Evans. And then Boozer's got the offensive board.
Oh, no.
And Foster misses but sticks with it. Boozer again, and he's fouled.
Ball slipped out of Caleb Foster's hands. Hey, John Shire, point of emphasis for him. We didn't even ask him a question. He came over. We got a rebound tonight. And that is a terrific example right there. You get an open look. That's all well and good. You got 2 guys fighting over the same ball. That slipped out of his hands. I'm giving Caleb Foster a pass there. Slipped out of his hands. But I like the tenacity on the offensive glass for Duke. Obviously a giant point of emphasis.
I want to say this on the 9-man rotation they pretty much have going right now for the Duke Blue Devils. I mean, I think Coach Shire was talking about it before. I mean, they have 4 freshmen, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, but they're awesome. I mean, you know, normally you'd say, oh, freshmen, but we're talking here at Duke, and they come in with the size and the ability like they're already a senior. I mean, Boozer, case in point, Hemenya, his brother Caden Boozer, and then also Dame Sarr. So you got 4 really, really talented freshmen out there.
Absolutely. And I think that's the first thing, too, is, you know, you talk about Duke and how many, well, Indiana State's just falling apart. They need to get back to being solid. You talk about guys when, you know, the NBA draft comes up and different things, first thing they look at is body size. And anybody that John Shire brings in, there's certain prerequisites, right? Nobody that has played tonight is underneath 6'4" tall. And I'm counting Caden Boozer as 6'4" because I don't know actually how tall he is because his hair. But I'm just saying, like, he plays like a bigger guard. Good pass. Oh.
Intercepted back the other way for Evans. And that led me to my next point of the other guys as Evans tries to go up top for Sarr. You got the 4 freshmen and the other 5 players. They've been with this program. I mean, that's what you said, retention and how big that is today. As this 3-pointer goes up and in by Scott. You got Foster, 3rd year of the program. Isaiah Evans, his 2nd year. Malik Brown, his 2nd year.
Teams that do, but I'm talking about in tournament play. You're going to have to execute in the half court. They have all the weapons to do just that. But in that Texas game, that was the first time where, you know, you saw a little bit of it. Sure. But obviously, John Shire, he wants better. Not saying they can't do it. They have all the pieces. It's just a matter of, you know, getting the opportunity to play some of those games. And they're coming up quick, fast, and in a hurry.
But the ability and the environment and everything that they have here at home, which, you know, many of you have seen a ton of games in this building, what it means to them, because Shire, as we said at the start of the broadcast, is 49-3 at home.
Right.
I mean, that's 94% of your games you've won at home. I mean, to think about every year, you wonder why this team every single year. Well, that's like 16, 17 wins right there if you're going to do that every year at home. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't defend home court that much better than they have really in their history. It's not just under Shire, of course. Foul here going in, and it's going to be Harding. That'll get a couple for Indiana State. So what else do they have coming up as Semenya picks up his 2nd personal foul? The non-conference schedule. Yeah, there's a few good ones right there.
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, you're kidding me? Look at this.
There's certainly some opportunity.
Wow.
I mean, Kansas, Darren Peterson at Kansas, obviously terrific. He's currently out with a hamstring situation, but that non-conference, and Duke always has that to be able to develop some of those things. But it's something that Duke has the ability to schedule because of the program that they are. Scheduling is a very hard thing for a lot of programs.
Yeah.
Not such a difficult thing, or as difficult as Duke, just because you're going to have these opportunities because of the brand. But, you know, half-court execution, they're going to have chances to be able to work on some of those things with their upcoming slate. And, man, that was a lot of really good teams on that schedule.
Yeah, there really was. And, you know, you're right. I mean, when you talk about some of the other teams throughout the country that do have a problem with that, because some of them that could be really good, they just don't get the ability to get some of these better teams on the schedule. They say, oh, nobody wants to play us. It's hard to get the games. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's a big portion for that. I mean, but, you know, playing against Arkansas, Calipari's done a fantastic job. Florida, former national, or last year's national champs. Michigan State, always tough. Texas Tech's really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a guy named Christian Anderson who's terrific. German point guard, JT Toppin, obviously had a big game against Illinois in their last contest. Like, you're going to have opportunities to continue to improve before you hit conference play and work on some of this half-court execution.
And that Michigan game as well, too. That's another great team. Look at this. Brown for the flush.
Ngongba, how good is he? And I'll be honest, I didn't see all this whenever he was a high school senior playing for Team Takeover, but the passing of what he's capable of doing, quick little dump off to Malik Brown. Make it pretty for you and all the Duke fans. Yeah, it was fully painted about an hour and change ago. I've heard rumors that once upon a time at UMass, Mike Corey used to go full body paint.
Yeah, right. No, we used to actually hold up the newspapers back in the day when they were announcing the starting lineups. Like we weren't paying attention. Remember that? The newspaper.
Yep. You never went full body paint?
No, I never did that.
Okay. Could have fooled me.
We had the women's basketball promo there a moment ago. How about Duke on the women's side? They are on the road taking on West Virginia, down by 7 in the 3rd quarter. Number 15th ranked Duke on the women's side. We got number 4 Duke here tonight. No trouble with Indiana State. Under 12 minutes to go in this game.
Hey, there were some butterflies after the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, down 14-4. And then they quickly erase that with an 11-0 run. and have been playing from ahead pretty much ever since. Cameron Boozer.
Oh, nice play.
33 points here tonight. Runner no good by Foster.
Foster, whenever he gathers, he needs to smack the basketball to get a good grip on it. It's such an easy thing to do, to just try to get up there and go quick as you can.
Right.
Sometimes he's had a problem with that couple of possessions.
Wagner fading away in the corner for three. Not a great look. Foster, not this time. Three ball, Sterling Young. Wow, off the backboard, and they finally get another one to go down. They were hot early. Now just 2 of 7 here in the second half, and sticking with it for the 2 is Ngongba.
8:30 on a Friday, and the bank is open for Indiana State. Gonna have to get back on defense, though. I'm telling you, Ngongba's moving well, running the floor. He's really improved his body.
Well, you had talked about with the strength coach coming in. I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, they look pretty darn good, right? I mean, this is only game 4 of the season, but they're in great shape.
Well, they had the same strength coach for 20-plus years. Wow.
Ngongba.
Ngongba, goodbye. Not his house. Nice play. But, I mean, even there, the effort to get back, make a play on the ball, that's a volleyball spike. Sign my man up. No, Preston Green, they hired a new strength coach for the first time in 20-plus years. And he comes from Clemson. Before that, he was at Florida. He's been at a lot of places that have had success. But one common theme with the players that he has, there's massive improvements. And, you know, after doing something the same way for 20 years, and it worked, obviously, but you see the improvement in Ngongba's body.
That's his third
getting over
block.
there.
Yes, and 6 rebounds, and his presence is felt both ends of the court.
That was a heck of a block. We'll be able to take another look at it. This was the volleyball spike, and he put that in section 6, row F.
Yeah.
And the next possession gets another one.
Hall was called for the foul for Indiana State. Back to Boozer, back to work, and he is fouled by Ian Scott.
Trying to get points number 34 and 35. He's just a load on the interior. In a day and age, too, like, you look at a lot of different fours. There's not a whole lot of back-to-basket guys anymore.
Right.
And the fact that Cam Boozer can play on the outside and be the hub of your offense, be a terrific passer, do a lot of those things. He can also catch the ball on the wing. If he doesn't have a shot, he can Barkley dribble down and put his back to the defense and dribble down. Hadn't shot a free throw as well as he'd like, I'm sure. But to be able to post up, score, use leverage, I mean, like, it's such a different type of way to attack, and he's relentless in how he does so because he's so strong and it never quits. And, like, there's a cumulative effect of playing against a guy like that. You saw it against Texas in game 1. First half didn't have a field goal. Second half, able to get to the foul line, played a lot more physical. But, like, eventually it just gets to you as a defensive player.
Hamenya for 3. Now it's plays like that, too. You draw so much attention. Nice kick out there with the assist. His 5th of the game. He's got 11 rebounds, 33 points. You saw the note there about being the first freshman to have 30-plus along with the blocks and the assists. 3 blocks as well. First time in 6 years that's happened for a freshman. Those numbers. Caden Boozer for 3. Harris got it back, and then he's fouled by Young.
Young, frustrated with himself right there. That's one of those, there's just nothing you could do. Get stuck, wrong place, wrong time. Get to the next play. Darren Harris comes in the game. First time I saw Darren Harris play, him and Ngongba were on the same high school team. They were also on the same AAU team. Played at St. Paul IV. And, like, this is a guy that's a big-time scorer that has been patient with his minutes, that has continued to work, and he's stuck around. And a lot of guys, let's be honest, too, Mike, you have a year where you don't play all that much, guys are out of there. Oh, he sticks around.
Well, think about where you are at, right, to begin with. And,
Sure.
And I'm with you, though. I think if more players, and I'm just saying, I know, take the money out of it for a second. I mean, you want to improve. You want to get better. You want to see your stock. I mean, you got this guy, okay? You got this program. I mean, where else would you get someone teaching you and the ability from these guys over the years to say, hey, we need you to do this. You do this, you're going to play. You're going to get better. You're going to get to the next level. I mean, it's a great place to be at. I'm not quite sure.
No doubt. And there's a lot of great coaches around the country. The accumulation of talent at Duke is different. They've played 9 guys today. All of them will have a shot in some way, shape, or form at the next level. You're practicing against those guys every day. Right? You look up and down different rosters around this league. There might be 2, maybe 3 on a really good team. But they're bringing their lunch pail every day at Duke because everybody has those goals.
3-ball, Ngongba. No.
He needs to let it fly. Like Ngongba's thinking about it instead of shooting it.
Yeah.
You saw how slow that ball came up. Let that ball go, man. He promised John Shire he was going to shoot him. Him and Malik Brown.
He did.
That's what Shire said, man, if these guys don't shoot, they promised me they would shoot a couple of threes when they were open.
Well, they're 7 for 21 overall in this game here tonight. Inside for the 2. Foster. The number that's crazy here is points in the paint tonight for Duke. 50. Or 48 there. 48 points in the paint. Indiana State's got 47 total.
That's exactly right. Indiana State, they hit some really hard shots at the beginning, but the length of Duke is just crazy. Need to finish this.
And Foster does. He's got 11. Third player now in double figures in scoring for Duke, and the other way it's Vorst for the jumper.
Vorst has a nice little game. 6'10", 250 pounds and change. Not the most athletic guy, but a good floor game. Plays with pretty decent balance. He's going to have a really nice year in the Missouri Valley.
Evans for 3. Good job track down that rebound. Zaire Green. Under 8 minutes to go in the contest. 84-49. NBA range 3. It's taken away.
Hey,
wow.
NBA range 3, NBA wingspan.
Yeah. 11-1 in terms of the blocks. Amenya to Foster for 3. Inside, outside, doesn't matter. 87-49, timeout in Ishman. Okay, and how about double-doubles, right? 30-point double-doubles. His father, he only got 1, and it was his 94th game of his career against Virginia. He had 33 and 10, and he got Cameron here in his 4th game of his freshman season with a 30-point double-double, 35 and 11.
Don't tell me what to do, Dad. How about that? That's incredible.
Bet you if you ask Carlos, he's going to just say, oh, man, he's better than me, farther along where I was. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, just such a humble
props that
guy.
he would probably give his son with what he's done so far up to this point. Wow.
Absolutely. And, you know, Cameron's been incredible today. And sometimes I feel like because he's Cam's brother, Caden gets overlooked a lot. Like, he's another really good player. And he's not going to have these giant outbursts, these, 33, 35-point games. But he's a guy who's going to make his teammates better consistently. And, like, that attributes to winning, right? He's a winning player. But both of them are. But they do it in different fashions. And it shows a lot. I talked to several different head coaches around the country. And I talked to Furman's Bob Ritchie, and it stuck out to me. He's like, if I could recruit a guy whose dad or mom played Division I basketball, it makes my job a lot easier. Because there's been a certain amount of conditioning with these younger players that they know what to expect. No better example than the Boozer brothers here.
Oh, yeah. Well, and in that example that you mentioned, it's usually you know, the family, because everybody's played that, you know, they're so good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're always like, oh, he's really good. Yeah, well, his mom played, his dad played. I mean, that, you just already have that mentality from when you first grew up, you know, and you want to be just as good as they were, you know, so.
There's a lot of that. And, you know, I have a son. I think the biggest thing when it comes to guys that have played before, they let their kids be coached. And Carlos, obviously, you want to talk about jacked.
Yeah.
My man was jacked on some really good teams here at Duke. I mean, national championship team.
It's understandable how Cameron comes in.
Comes from somewhere.
Yeah, looking this way, right?
But, I mean, they let their kids be coached. Like, that's the biggest thing that coaches have told me over the last, you know, 2 or 3 years since I've been jumping into media. Like, if there's a child or a young recruit whose parents played, I'm going to zero in on that guy because he's been talked to a certain way, and he understands what it takes.
Recruiting at Duke, right? I mean, you probably just have to make sure you get the alumni base and all their children that have come up through the ranks. I mean, that makes half your job probably easier, right? I mean, it's not a hard sell, yeah. I would think.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to love? And especially the focus. There was a shift in Coach K's focus to get guys that are willing to be one and dones. And people don't remember, like, that was a big deal a while ago. Like, when's he going to make the jump and not have these?
That's right.
Right. When's he going to make the jump and not have these, you know, 4-year players, guys that hang around? And there was a bit of a talent gap. And Shire even alluded to that today, talking about today's recruiting, not that time, but, like, there's a talent gap. If you're trying to get these one and dones, like, whenever K made that shift, they got back to where they were really, really good again. That was a big deal.
That's a great point. People forgot that. He wanted them here for 4 years, right? And that you're right. They would not be able to go early. Obviously, we know what he's done. And when you make that shift, like you said, you're now in line with everybody else because that's what's happened.
Yep. And it's a balancing act right now with these freshmen. Do you take these young, talented freshmen, or do you go in the transfer portal and you get these older players? And while there might be a talent gap, sure, like, you know what you're getting. And, like, that's the balance right now, especially at this level. Like, how do you go about it? You know, you talk about Sion James, and whenever he came last year from Tulane, physically mature, could help right away and fit alongside that team perfectly. Look at this student section.
You got the free hoagie or something, right? That's why they're going nuts, right? The free hoagie, yeah. And you missed 2 free throws to the opponent.
Hoagies at Harris Teeter postgame.
Yeah, they're fired up. Alley-oop try, sort of, and picked up, and a foul as Ngongba is going to go to the free throw line. Yeah, and you talk about getting transfers, right? Well, Duke doesn't do that all as much. I mean, they got Brown is from Syracuse, but it's the second year with Duke.
Sure.
You got the 4 true freshmen. The other 5 have been around this program from last year. I mean, it's taking the right guys, and it's not having an entirely new team. Like, we've seen that around the country too.
I mean, they do have some transfers. Like, Jack Scott's from Princeton, but he understands his role and what he's here to do.
Sure, and a couple from Rice.
Sure, and you know, Cameron Sheffield. But
yep.
You know, if you do take a transfer, you have to pretty much know exactly what you're going to do with them whenever they come in, because they could ruin it now.
Right.
You know, expectations are at a certain point. It's an almost impossible puzzle to figure out, yet John Shire has absolutely nailed it for 4 years now.
What an incredible transition, right? I mean,